Okay, so other than smushing the feet and the calves, right, we want to stimulate the core. Now, when I'm talking about the core, what I mean is the deep layer of abdominal muscles, your internal and your internal obliques. Okay, I'm not really talking as much about the six-pack and the external obliques. Those tend to be larger muscles that oftentimes get activated whether we like it or not. Some muscles that get underutilized and may take a little bit more effort or awareness on how to activate is the deep transversus abdominis and the internal obliques. Sway back posture is a real common posture in cycling and in running and in swimming for that matter. Lengthened obliques, lengthened abs kind of create this posture, and what happens as a result of this is the calves end up getting tight. So the posture looks something like this. If I stand up, instead of standing back on my heels, which would be considered a more neutral posture, the body looks like it's swayed forward. So this causes the abs to be pretty lengthened. Now what happens here is, since I'm swayed forward like this, a couple things. Number one, my glutes tend not to work so good here. My quads take a good amount of load, and my toes are gripping on for dear life because they're the only things that are holding me up and keeping me from falling forward. If I cut my toes off, I would fall flat on my face with this posture. So we want to, because the toes are always gripping, right, almost like you're wearing flip-flops all day long, your calves are going to be constantly tight and are constantly working, and this is what's going to create tightness. So if you have tight calves and stiff ankles and you only address the calf and ankle itself locally and don't look more at a global solution, like if you have a sway back posture and you have those tight calves and tight ankles, what I would tell you is it's almost like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're not really addressing the issue with this. You need to address the deep abs so that you can comfortably be put back on your heels, if that makes sense. So I'm going to give you a few exercises here that may help and that are really quite simple. A group called the Postural Restoration Institute out of Lincoln, Nebraska has brought great awareness to using balloons in exercise, and I think it's great. So I'm going to just demonstrate to you how to blow up a balloon and relax everything else. Blowing up a balloon is great because you have to use your deep abdominal muscles. One of the things that the transversus abdominis and internal oblique do is under load, they help you exhale. So one reason possibly for the swayed back posture to begin with in so many endurance athletes is that they are great inhalers, but rather poor exhalers. So what you do is you just lie on your back, and I have a wedge here. This could be a pillow or anything. But these wedges are on Amazon. This says it's made by a company called Strong Tech. I don't know the company at all, but they're rather inexpensive. I think I got like 2 of these for 20 bucks. It's worth having and keeping in your office or home. And then this right here is called a cervical pillow. I like it because it's very comfortable. I own a Pilates studio here in Austin, and all my clients use this under their head. It feels good. It feels good on the neck. But you could use a pillow under your head and it'd be just fine. Really, all you want to do is relax the entire back side of the body. So what you do is you lie on your back, and then you just take that wedge and put it right under your tailbone. And then with that, I'm going to take this pillow so that I'm nice and comfortable. Now, what's happened here is I'm completely relaxed. If you feel you should feel your hips for any tension in this position. Feel your chest, make sure everything's relaxed. And then what you do is you just take the balloon, and I find the best balloons are at Walmart or Target. They tend to have better quality balloons, and just go to the party balloon section, get like, I don't know, 72 for $5. But what you want to do is really maximize your exhales and keep your hips soft at the same time. So here's how it goes. You just take a nice inhale, hold it with your teeth, and then exhale. And when you're done, you just let the air out of the balloon. So a couple of things. When you're doing this, what you want to do is think about activating the lowest layer of abdominal tissue you have. So just find your hip bones first. So kind of feel your hip bones, and then take your fingers and put it just to the inside of the hip bones. Then, with the other hand, you can hold the balloon, or just hold the balloon with your teeth, and exhale into the balloon. And you want to imagine exhaling from where your fingers are. You want to feel gentle tightening under those fingers. All right, that's a great area to palpate that deep ab tissue, and it'll help you have to get a little bit zen with it and just think about your imagery a little bit, just imagining that you're almost like you're zipping up a coat. Imagine that when you exhale, you're starting the zipper off at the bottom, close to your pubic bone, and you're going to zip it all the way up right to the top of your rib cage. You want to exhale as long as you can. The longer you exhale, the more abs you have to use. So exhale as long as you can, and even when you're done exhaling, give yourself a countdown, like a 3-second countdown, and just constantly try to push more and more air out. But make sure that your neck is really relaxed. Try to relax your chest as much as you can. Relax your hips as well. So as you get the hang of it, one thing you want to do is just kind of feel every other muscle that you may be using. You want to remember any muscle that attaches to your rib cage could be considered a respiratory muscle and may in fact get involved, especially the superficial muscles. So that's why you want to keep them relaxed. And your hips could also get involved and try to help you out, even though they're not going to do a very good job of that. But they will tighten up, so you want to constantly be touching the sides of your hips to make sure they're relaxed.